Dawn Reese, 106.1 FM, The Heat, and 5 other stations, and a couple TV networks as well, VH2, 24 Flicks, and 360 TV. And you are?
Saudi Peckerel.
Hi, I know we were just talking about shouting out at one of the film festivals when I got you on. You're still up there. And tell us what you're doing here.
I'm here helping Dell Anderson tell her story in a mini documentary biography called Unchained. Was her international coordinating producer, working with some international director and screenwriter to tell her story basically to the world. And so this is the premiere of her film. And funny enough, it being a faith-based initiative, it's the first faith-based film to show at the Dunedin International Film Festival.
I heard that when Cameron was on our show about 2 weeks ago. She was talking about this was coming up as a faith-based film. I didn't know it was yours. And that's fabulous. And we want to see more faith-based films here at the Dunedin Film Festival. And I'll tell you, that's where my show is going, with more faith-based films and TV shows as well.
Yeah, you know, the interesting thing about Dell's story, there's obviously a lot of history. I mean, it just so happens that the same area and church that she went to, I grew up as a kid. But the interesting thing about her story is very rarely do you get documented proof that stuff's actually happened, you know. And so knowing her medical history of what her circumstances and symptoms were before the event that caused catastrophic heart failure, to actually getting healed by faith and then having doctor medical proof that it actually happened. You know, and that's very rarely told, where you can hold one file up that says I'm sick and the other file says there's not a problem. And the transition between the two, knowing it's a miracle. I mean, there's no argument. A miracle settles the issue.
Exactly. I have a question, because I know people are going to say, you know, because they have to watch out for, you know, different things that in their body. How did you find out what was happening that day? What were you having? What kind of symptoms?
Wow. You know, I didn't feel like there was any impending doom. I had a pain in my right shoulder, actually, not my left one. And I went to my this meeting at our church, and I told my pastor, who was sitting beside me, I said, I don't know what's wrong, but I got this pain in my shoulder.
And usually it's a left shoulder.
Right. So that was quite unusual. And 3 days later was when I had the massive heart attack. And I told you the story about the girl who came and prophetically said, "You will live and not die." And I had no idea what she was talking about.
That's amazing. And we're just letting you know, for anybody that is going through that, it could be your right or your left. And remember, give God all the glory and honor, and make sure that you pray every day, because you are a testimony to somebody that needs your testimony. I'm Dawn Reese. We'll be back. All right. Good job.
Great so much.